All right, everybody. Welcome to A Lucky Devil. The name of this podcast is A Lucky Devil. I am your host, A Lucky Devil. Relax, please. Just relax. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Already you're upset. I can tell. You don't have to be here. I can feel it. I can feel the energy. It's aggressive. Could you calm down? It's gonna be okay. It's just a podcast. There's no need to be this upset already. I haven't even said anything. What did Draper say? Our greatest fears lie in anticipation. You don't have to be afraid. Afraid of me? Come on, calm down. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, God, a lucky devil in a nice room. It's nice. With a microphone, two cameras. Guys, just pretend this isn't the first episode. Can we do that? Let's pretend this has been going on. It's already permanently transfixed in the zeitgeist, which it will be. Mark my fucking words. Let's just pretend, though. This has been going on. It's already in the background of our lives. We can calm down. You don't have to be this upset. Look, I thought I'd come on here, maybe do an apology tour. Not really, but I considered, what if I go on there and I offer a mea culpa? Fuck. Define mea culpa.
Mea culpa means an acknowledgement of one's fault or error.
You're welcome. Usually a mea culpa, though, is more than just an acknowledgement of one's fault or error. It usually is accompanied by a gift. You don't just say sorry. If I dirtied up your rug with my Balenciaga Croc boots, I would come, with a shampoo vacuum cleaner and a bouquet of flowers. I hand you the flowers. I go mea culpa. Okay, so I thought maybe this could be a digital representation of a mea culpa. But then I remembered something. There's no way I can do a podcast and make these people like me. Nobody's gonna like me. I'm a millennial. Everyone hates millennials. You understand this? Everybody hates millennials. Now, if you're a millennial and you're watching this and you just heard that, you probably felt something, didn't you? You're upset. You didn't know this. Millennials don't know that everyone hates them. And by the way, everyone should hate them. Let's walk through the life of a millennial real quick. A millennial has boomer parents, and we all know boomer parents are narcissists. We've been over this. Everyone's talked about it. It's a thing. We don't have to dive into it. But it fucked us up. Our boomer parents, they didn't love us. They didn't. Not in the way that you're supposed to love somebody. And it did something to us. We looked up to the older kids, the Gen X kids. Just a little bit above us. And boy, we wanted to be with them. We wanted to be them. Anything. We loved them. The cooler kids, the older kids. They didn't like us. So we go, all right, that's fine. One day, we'll be the cool kids. We'll be the older kids. And then what happened? Gen Z came around. Unk, old head, dinosaur. It never happened. The millennial never got their cool moment. And guess what? It's because millennials are inherently uncool. Now, why would I rant about this? Well, number one, I have the ability to look through the glass. I've always known this about millennials. Look at me. You're a millennial. You're not cool. I'm sorry, it's true. And you've never been cool. Just look at your old photos. You're cringing. Look at your photos from 4 years ago and try not to. Seriously, you've never been cool. And this is why. And by the way, I know this. I have this special gift. See, I left home at 14. I've lived in multiple cities, 8 or 9 cities. So I've always been able to look through the glass. And I never identified with my millennial peers. I always hated them. I did a thing. It was today when I learned, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'm adulting. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Millennials aren't cool. They've never been cool. And here's the reason why. Because millennials love themselves. It's true, we do. We love ourselves. A millennial hear Gen Z go, love yourself. I'm struggling with loving myself. And a millennial goes, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah. Love yourself. Definitely. Love yourself. Listen, a Gen Z person isn't saying love yourself because they're championing something that's inherent to them, a natural ability, a gift. They're reminding themselves something a millennial doesn't have to do. Nobody's going to like you when you already like yourself enough for the whole fucking world. And I've always known this. It's innate to me. I know my abilities. I know my capabilities. I'm insanely confident because of it. Now, this isn't a foundation built on sand. It's rock solid. I know what I can do. Like this podcast, I'm already hitting it out of the park. This is my first one. You know, it's like I own a farm and I'm just planting these seeds. I'm not even the farmer. I've hired you all unwittingly, unknowingly to be my farmers. I'm going to give you clips. Call me Clipsy fucking Hustle. No one's going to like you when you like yourself enough. But most millennials don't realize that. And they wonder, when's our day in the sun? It's not coming. It just isn't coming. You're inherently uncool. So just shut the fuck up and be unlikable. That's what I do. That's where I excel. I've always known a millennial is unlikable. And it was hard for me to come out right now as a millennial because I don't necessarily look like one. And I don't really act like one either, except you go, something's off here. I detected this guy actually doesn't hate himself. This guy doesn't want to himself. And I don't like that. Of course you don't like that. You shouldn't. I don't blame you. I really don't. So knowing this and being early to it, seeing ahead of the curve, looking through the glass, I go, oh, well, if nobody's going to like me, I can lean into the unlikability of it all. It's so freeing. It's so freeing. Not having to worry about being liked? Are you crazy? Look, there's a lot of people out there, and they grow up. And by the way, this is not an information-driven podcast. I'm hitting you with a lot of facts, a lot of knowledge from the jump, maybe some epiphanies for the older ones. This isn't an information-driven podcast. This is very much a hangout podcast. If you're dressed like me right now, if you're wearing shoes, you know, look, I didn't even wear my Yeezy Season 9 gloves, the ones that only me and Ye have. That's right. Only me and Ye have these. Was I not supposed to say that? If you owned something and you had that fact logged, would you not share that? But you didn't like that I shared it. You see? Do you see what I'm saying here? I can't win, but I could never win. And that's okay with me. The reason I'm not wearing my gloves off. Gloves off. This isn't an information-driven podcast. This is a podcast about tonality, about texture, about temperature. This is very much a hangout podcast. I know. Look at me. Look at me. It's fine. Look at me. This was Ye's hat, by the way. Had a pocket knife, cut it himself, and put this. Unlikable. But it's okay. Sometimes unlikable is fun. Sometimes we want to hang out with the unlikable people. We're sick of the status quo. You know, our codependent friend groups where the kids on SSRIs get to say what we all talk about. Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. You're on SSRIs. Shut the fuck up. Look, this is a hangout podcast because I know many of you, and I mean many of you, are very, very sick of marching in lockstep, docile, single file, in singularity, with the rest of the cattle to the slaughterhouse. Or maybe some of you are unbeknownst. Maybe forethought is lacked, foresight is absent, and you're calm as a Hindu cow. You have no idea what's coming. But I know some of you want to break from that every now and then. And I'm not some edgelord. You know, you probably thought by now this podcast would just be me going, look, that's not this podcast. We don't use words like that here. This is a family podcast. How dare you think that of me? And if you've hate watched me this long already, just waiting for that, what does that say about you? The people who use those words, the people watching right now, don't care whether or not I say that. It's you, though, sitting there, perched on your stilts, pointing and daring me to break custom. It's what you want. Will you face the facts? You have a bloodlust for it. You know, I was dating this girl and she would ask me, it was a TikTok trend unbeknownst to me. I don't care about that shit. She goes, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? This was very early on. It wasn't really a trend yet, I don't think. I don't know. And I said, bi-hourly. And it's true, I do. I mean, Rome was such a perfect civilization, and then what happened? They took their biggest and their brightest, and they put them dead center in the Colosseum to do battle with lions, tigers, and were there bears? Lions. They'd had to do battle with lions. And Rome, walled society was collapsing around them, would gather. They would gather in these colosseums, cheering for something to satiate their unquenchable bloodthirst. They needed it. They needed a sacrifice, a sacrificial lamb. And they would tune out the collapse of the society around them. Well, that's what this is. That's what social media is. We have demanded our biggest and our brightest enter the Colosseum dead center and do battle with the lions. That's okay with me. That's fine with me. I'm happy to do so. You can relax. I am here to quench your bloodthirst. It's okay. I don't need to be liked. I'm a millennial. You starting to understand? I mean, I truly hope so. Look, McDonald's Coke is the best. I hate when people talk about McDonald's Sprite. You're missing out. McDonald's Coke. And look, I had a yerba mate earlier. Don't think I'm a cheapskate, okay? Don't think I'm a cheapskate. I'm an everyman. In fact, sometimes I feel like the last surviving member of the middle class. I mean, I'm dead serious. I like the middle class. It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. I feel like I'm fighting to uphold it. I am the last surviving member of the middle class. Because you look now and it's like, women are whores. Immigrants are doing all the, Uber and DoorDash. And then the unskilled laborers, they all work in retail and they're bored and they're lame. And then you go a step up. to what, you know, a Jew might say the proletariats are. And you look at them, but with inflation or whatever, I mean, they're low class. And I'm not talking about aesthetic. I'm not being rude to them. Do whatever you do to keep a roof over your head, 9 to 5. I'm not against it. Society needs that. But I just mean they're forced to have roommates. They're forced to live at home. The wages never caught up to the world around them. So they're not middle class. They're just not. And then all the people that are technically middle class with like the higher end jobs, they're debt slaves. They work very hard to have, you know, a house that they're indebted to and a mortgage, a car that they can't really afford, they're leasing, blah, 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 blah. Instead of you're in a position where you could buy a modest home in cash. You could see the neighborhoods that would be an investment too, that'll double within the next 7 to 10 years. You could buy your home in cash, perhaps. You could buy your car in cash, perhaps. But these middle-class people want to cosplay as higher class. Me, myself, I love the middle class. I love it. You know, my home, super modest, but I own it. My car, super modest, but I own it. Do you understand? I love being in the middle class. Where are my middle classers out there? There's nothing classier. That's the American dream. Now, I am stunting on my fit here, sure. I mean, I'm really stunting. Yeezy Season X, you don't even know about this. Yeezy Season X, you don't know about this. You see that padding? It has nothing to do with Pride Month. I am stunting in my fit. I get it. You might go, oh, what a hypocrite, what a hypocrite, what a hypocrite. Well, that's only if you don't know much about me, but you'll learn about me. You'll understand my fit later. You'll understand that this is more than just a fit for me, okay? If I'm going to set myself dead center in the Roman Colosseum as a Christian, I'm going to follow the word of God. And the word of God says, if you are a Christian soldier, get your feet shod with the preparation of peace, the sword of the Spirit, the shield of faith, the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, the belt of truth. I have to armor up if I'm going to come out here like this. It's the only way you guys will listen. But again, this is about tone, about texture, about temperature. If you're still watching, you're smart. But if you're still watching, listen. I told you I'm not going to be likable. By the way, if you're going, this guy, at least I'm self-aware enough to know. This is about tone. This is about temperature. This is about texture. This is a hangout podcast. You get to hang out with someone that revels in the unlikability. Okay? We're hanging out. We're vibing. I almost Obama'd that fly. Do y'all know what that means? I really hope you know what that means. Lord of the Flies, Obama. Don't get me started. Back to the last surviving member of the middle class. Yes, it might seem hypocritical that I'm wearing, an outfit that costs thousands and thousands of dollars, but I went through it. It's biblical to do so. But I also want to say something. It doesn't require a shitload of money. Excuse my French. I'm trying not to swear. Besides earlier when I went, what's the matter? We do not use that word here. That's not this podcast, okay? That's what you thought I was going to do. This is a family podcast. You understand me? It's Pride Month. Look, this right here, I get it, whatever. But I think a lot of people think you need a shitload of money to dress well, and it's simply not true. I dare say it works against you. Oh, massive eye roll. You're probably upset I said that. How can someone with an outfit that costs like that say the more money you have, the worse you dress? Well, it's easy. Here's why. The people I meet with the most money are the worst dressers. Think about it. Think about everyone that has a lot of money and how they dress terribly. Then think about the people in your lives, people that you admire on social media, these influencers who, by the way, most of them do not have money. You make a choice, fame or fortune. They made the choice for fame. They're trying to get fortune, whatever. But you're looking at them. You might think they have a lot of money. They don't. My point is, you admire the way they dress. It's not the rich ones. Something about the second you get wealthy, you start to dress the worst. You just don't know what you're doing. Maybe it's you're dealing with these high-pressure salespeople. You go in these designer stores. Those women are vampires, let me tell you. And they can talk you into the worst fit ever. Oh, that Gucci print looks good on you? Give me a fucking break, okay? So I dare say the people with the least amount of money are forced to be creative. There are so many people that I admire the way they look. I have my own aesthetic. It's completely different from theirs. But I admire the way they dress. And none of them have money. Zero of them. Now, we do need to talk about something. I'm going to wear kids' gloves. Should I put these on? These aren't kids' gloves. These are Ye's gloves. Well, they're not Ye worn. I don't want a Yeezy collector to come for me. But only me and Ye have these, okay? I'm going to put my Yeezy Season 9 gloves on. That's how you know I'm being sensitive. Because I'm a sensitive guy. I'm an HSP. God damn it. Excuse my French, Jesus. I'm an HSP. I'm a highly sensitive person. You might go, oh, come on, this guy's a prick. He's not sensitive. And he's definitely not an HSP. Please look up HSPs if you don't know what they are. But I'm a highly sensitive person. I dare say no one could be this insensitive without truly feeling the depths, the epistemological depths of their own sensitivity. I feel every hit, guys. But I love it. It gives me thicker skin. I want the heat. Don't you understand? But I'm putting on my kids' gloves, and I'm going to have to talk to you a little bit like children, okay? Because I'm about to talk to the women. That's right, ladies. We got to talk about these outfits. We have to talk about these outfits. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Here's what happens, right? You'll go out. You'll go out in your any town, USA, you know, your shitty flyover state, whatever city there you have there that has a university, blah, 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 that has some money coming in. It's not a town, but it's a town, okay? And you'll go out amongst townies. And LA, New York, Miami, these are cities with very hot people. The reason that they have hot people is because every girl in high school was told, the hot ones were told, oh my God, you're so pretty. You need to get out of here. You need to go to LA. The hot ones moved to LA, okay? They listened. LA and New York is just a city full of all the hot people from the high schools that went to go be the hot people in a big city. They realized I'm hot enough to make these cities my playgrounds. What's left in these other cities are girls cosplaying. And here's what happens. And don't get mad at me. This comes from a deep place, all right? This is Deontological. I'm going to take the gloves off. The gloves got to come off for this. Define Deontological.
In moral philosophy, deontological ethics, or deontology, is the normative ethical theory that the morality of an action should be based on whether that action itself is right or wrong under a series of rules and principles, rather than based on the consequences of the action. Shall I continue?
I'm giving up on the idea of the consequences of what I'm about to say because I think I'm doing the right thing. So don't get offended, all right? Listen, when you dress like you're going to a Miami club and you are not going to a Miami club and you're wearing, you know, a lacy sheen garment made from the hands of a Chinese child slave, okay? And you've got your heels that are hanging on for dear life because the straps cannot handle it. Your foot packed in there. Your toes are did. Your dick grabbers are on. That's what y'all call them. Your nails are done. You saw your lash tech. You got, you know, your dealer plumped you up. You got your hair done right, your extensions, your blowouts, etc. Sweetheart, you look great. I'm telling you, you look great. You look great. But you are going out to Anytown USA's Friday or Saturday night club. And that's fine. Put some pride in your appearance. Lord knows I do. Congrats. Awesome. Awesome. But be self-aware of this. We haven't got to it yet. You look great. I think you're a sexy woman. I think you're a hot woman. If I wasn't on this no premarital sex kick, I'm only getting premarital head kick, and I thought you would be down for that, I would talk to you. God bless the rotation of women that I found that are okay with this. And yes, I invented the term premarital head. This is the kind of gold you're going to get with this podcast. Listen, I would sleep with you. I really would. If I wasn't such a God-fearing man. And I don't blame the people that do sleep with you until this happens. You see these women looking beautiful. Oh my God. In this den of thieves with criminals around us and awful people. None of these men have fathers. Well, I guess none of the women do either. But an angel like you here. Wow. Miss, do you have the time? Could you calm down? Wait a minute. You dress so effeminate. You dress like a feminine beauty. There's a dude under there. There's a fucking dude under there. Wait a minute. Are you trans? Are you trans? Hot girls of Anytown, USA, are you trans? Why do you get dressed up with your hair and your makeup done and you cosplay as feminine grace and then act like fucking dudes under there? Are you trans? And no one's made this comparison yet. The hot girls that are part of the culture now are not assimilating, and they go into these worlds, these realms. They exist within our society. They act like men. I mean, really, what is the difference between you and a trans person? And by the way, if you're offended, what have I even said yet? I'm saying nothing separates you from a trans woman. You shouldn't be offended. Trans women are women, right? But I'm telling you, you are cosplaying as a... Oh my God. We don't use words like that here. How dare you? How dare you? We don't use words like that here. This is a family show. Ladies, this is a family show. Y'all aren't trans. You're women. I say you look beautiful. All right? And I don't think you're trans. I think the curtains match the drapes. But let's have the inside match the outside. Am I right? Am I asking for too much here? Can we calm down? You're already upset. Half an hour in, you're upset. You're already clip farming this, sharing it to the group chat, mythologizing me, making me more myth than man. I mean, I have to thank you. You know, I'm the guy that stands in the back of the room and watches the production, the grand production, because I'm most comfortable in the back. I really am. I'm in the back. I'm watching it all, looking through the glass, as I like to do. And I'm saying to the guy next to me, whoever is unfortunate enough, self-aware, unlikable, self-aware, unfortunate enough to be standing next to me, and I go, can you believe these motherfuckers? Ugh. Can you believe this? I could do that so much better. Oh my God. And I don't notice that this person is getting upset at me. And finally they break. It always happens. They go, hey, if you could do it so much better, Why aren't you fucking up there? I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, he's right. They're right. They don't know. They don't know what I have inside. You know, I always walk around going, does Superman go around as Clark Kent going, I can fly? No, he knows that. That's why Clark Kent gets to walk around like he has the biggest dick. He didn't win his girl as Superman. He won his girl as Clark. You understand? That takes balls. Balls of steel, might I add. Maybe that's where the term came from. I don't know. But I know what I can do again. And I go, oh, look at this prick. Look at this fucking asshole. I could do it way better. And then they dare me. And I have to do it. I'm forced to do it. I don't want to be doing this. You know? I want to be in the back. Just laughing at it all. But here's what happens. And again, this is about tone. This is about temperature. This is about texture. This isn't information driven. Calm down. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this together. Why are you still watching? You're complicit, by the way. If you're still watching, you're partially complicit. Will you ever admit that you're the one that wants this? You're the one that created these monsters. I am a monster. I am evil. I am wicked. Do not mistake me for your kinfolk or your peers. Look, you have to have some sort of accountability here. You create these monsters. I don't want to be here. I just want to exist within society. And it's impossible because y'all invented HR. Us dudes, we were working. We would go into this dangerous world. We would put our lives on the line to gather the resources, to come home, to protect and provide for you so that you could watch over our children and do the most important job in the world, perpetuate the human race. But you said, no. We want to cosplay as men. You gave all that up. You have the nerve to complain about working. Make that make sense. But then, because you entered the workplace, we had to invent HR, human resources. Human resources. Have you ever talked to Sally from HR? First of all, she's not human. And during an apocalypse, I don't think she's going to have any resources. I'm sorry. Sally from HR might be the least resourceful person on this planet. You talk to someone from human resources, and what happens? We're in these environments. They're sterile. They're docile. We feel neutered. There's halogen lights above us. The outfits are atrocious. They've clipped our balls. We can't do or say anything. And now we have human resources where we really need to watch over what we have to say. So then what do? We clock out. And we just want to go home. Just wants to be a man at the house. And we don't even allow that anymore. We don't allow that anymore. Because we've become a society that has brought human resources to the everyday world. Admit it. Right now, during this entire podcast, you've wished there was a phone number you could call, a human resources department that you could call, and talk to. Hey, we need to talk about this guy. He's not in line with human resources. I am a resource. Do you understand? And I'm human. This is the most human thing ever. To speak freely. We got to stop HRing one another. And, you know, the main thing I want to get off on this podcast, is from the jump. I understand. I do. I understand that you might be looking at this and you have the criticism, which is fair. Just what we need. Another straight guy with a podcast. Right? You throw a rock in this day and age, you're going to hit a guy in the forehead. And guess what? He's a podcast owner. He has his own show. Blah, blah, blah. okay? But I'm going to make the case right now for two simple reasons why the podcast world actually needs me. Number one, if you have HR in your life, you have no business having a podcast. And again, I'm not picking on the 9-to-5ers. I'm not picking on you. I promise you. But I mean, if you have HR in your life, unless your podcast is a tutorial or is instructional, you have no reason to have a microphone in your face. Too much is on the line for you. I get it. You have nothing valid to say. You can't. The world has said, your voice is ours. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Gentlemen, if you have HR in your life and you're not doing, an instructional podcast on how to build a boat, I dare say you got to get out of the podcast world. And me entering it, not giving a fuck, saying, clip me. In context, out of context, I know what I'm doing here. Clip me out of context. Go ahead. I am Clipsy Hustle. Do you understand me? Me entering this world, me doing that, me putting it on the line will make it so apparent. Will make it so apparent that these barnacles collecting along the luxury yacht ships, ripping through this podcast world, these barnacles will fall off. I'm beheading them as we speak through aura alone. I am the max aura god. I'm sorry. It's true. We are going to behead the barnacles that have no business being in the podcast world. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. And listen, maybe you don't have that type of HR in your life. Maybe it's not an official human resources. This is point 1A, okay? I'll get to point 2. Maybe you don't have that type of HR in your life. Maybe you have a girlfriend or a wife or a mother or a family or an interpersonal friend group that's severely codependent, and you just, everyone gets to say their opinion and everyone gets to speak their mind, and we all gift wrap it, and at the end, everything is just where it was, tidy in a nice little neat box, and everyone's okay with everyone saying even the most stupid, asinine, boring, banal bullshit. You have no business having a podcast, but maybe your HR is even worse than that. The worst HR of all, and I want to be the one to make this point, is the pussy hive. The good pussy hive. Do you understand what I mean by the good pussy hive? And by the way, it's not even good pussy. I got to tell you that right now. The curse of having hot pussy is that it's never good pussy. The good pussy is never 10s. It's always the 7s and the 8s. Because the hot pussy curse is, what's the point of having it if you don't know what to do with it? And unfortunately, all hot pussy has this curse. Hot pussy is never good pussy. And if you fucked good pussy and you fucked hot pussy, you know the difference. And you know about this hot pussy curse. And I don't mean to be crude. But I'm talking specifically to the people that have the good pussy hive as the HR in their life. First of all, it's not the good pussy. We've been over this. They're under there. Oh my God. What is he saying? We don't use that word. How dare you? You thought I was going to say I don't say There are men under there. They don't act like women and they don't act like women. They are wolves in sheep's clothing, okay? They dress up as feminine goddesses, not an ounce of femininity to be found. Me, myself, I am a sheep in wolf's clothing. Do you understand me? I am a sheep in wolf's clothing. I wear the wolf's clothing to protect the lamb inside of me. I am a highly sensitive person. My insensitivity comes from a deep, cavernous place. An epistemological, and I said that word earlier. Define epistemological for the women.
Epistemological means relating to the theory of knowledge, especially with regard to its methods, validity and scope, and the distinction between justified belief and opinion.
The epistemological bounds of my sensitivity. allows me to be this insensitive. The good pussy hive keeps you from doing anything, gentlemen, and you got to break free from it, especially as we enter the dawn of a new era. Now, before, we were in an attention-based society, and the attention-based society was simple. You're on a peacock march. We're looking good. Fake it till you make it type attitude, which is fine for a minute, but it always goes to shit because that's built upon sand, and it's all form and no function. And we were in this attention-based society for far too long. We let the stupidest people with no opinions run the show because we're okay with a popularity contest. But as our popularity contest devolved into a beauty contest, we let full-on fucking retards run the show, and most of them are on SSRIs. They have no business running the show. And now you have the good pussy hive as your walking HR manager. Oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to play it cool, you know? I'm just going to take my cues from a guy like Drake. It doesn't matter that he's a Jewish Canadian named Aubrey with a white mother who grew up in an upper-class neighborhood, who got his start as a cripple on a children's television program. I'm going to look past all of that and really take his big man on campus energy, and I'm going to get that theater kid sort of swag, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make the faces. I'm going to do all my gesticulation based upon these sort of cues that were fed to me in social media, these lines that were fed to me in social media. I'm going to do that. The girls can run the show, and I'll find my lane. I'll find my entrance. You guys fucked it all up. You genuflected. Hey Siri, define genuflect.
Genuflect means lower one's body briefly by bending one knee to the ground, typically in worship or as a sign of respect.
If you were Christian or Catholic, you would know what that meant. You've genuflected to the good pussy hive, and you don't want to do anything to step out of line for the possibility of good pussy. And by the way, we've already been over this. Hot pussy is not good pussy. The curse of hot pussy, what's the point of having it if you don't know what to do with it? They never know what to do with it. I promise you that. And you genuflected to what you believe is good pussy on the possibility of penetrating the good pussy hive. That carrot will be dangled forever. And by the way, by the time you get a turn, it's already communal pussy. You're sticking your dick in a hostel. Look, I don't mean to be crude. I don't mean to be crass. Again, this is a hangout podcast. I would call my mom right now. We already edited it out because I tried to call her. I would show you. I have a great relationship with my mother. My mother is all right, here we go. My mother is a bull dyke lesbian. She is. My mother is a bull dyke lesbian. She's a bull dyke lesbian woman who is an immigrant, a legal immigrant. And she's a Trump supporter. My mother, woman, is a bull dyke lesbian. She's an immigrant from Mexico, a legal one, legal. And she's a Trump supporter. This is the kind of boundless thought that I come from. They threw everything at the book at this woman, and she still came out as a Trump supporter. Do you understand what I mean? And she was early on. He wasn't even down the escalator yet when she was saying Trump 2016. She's been psyoped from every angle. They bukkakied her with strap-ons in every angle you can imagine, and she still came out on the right side of history. This is the kind of thought processes I come from. Okay, this is the kind of independent thinker that that bred me. I'm not here to offend anyone, but I am asking you to think a little bit outside of the box. And gentlemen, if the good pussy hive is the HR manager in your life, do some reflecting. You got to stop this because, again, we are on the precipice. We are on the horizon, the dawn of a new era where we are moving away from the attention-based society, the fake it till you make it, popularity contest, beauty contest, and we are famished. We have been starved for substance. We want the truth now. You know, far too often, when I've said some out-of-pocket stuff, and I know what I'm doing, you fucking idiot. I've been building a brand. Thank you. Thank you for mythologizing me, making me more myth than man. I appreciate it. I owe you one. I'll buy you a drink. How about that? Anytime you make someone more myth than man, you're just falling into their game. But as we move away from the attention-based society, we're moving directly and swiftly into the expression-based society. We have been starved for something real. We have been starved for substance. There's been too much red dye in our food. There's been too much red dye in our social circles. We are going to look for the ones who have something to say. And here's the thing, gentlemen. Here's the thing. Society and history will not look kindly upon those that were complicit to their silencing. I'm telling you right now, you can still be early. You can still be early. You need to express yourselves. You don't have to be right. You don't have to be wrong. But we're moving into an expression-based society where people are going to start saying this. Look, I don't necessarily agree with him, but he has the right to say it. We're all fundamentalists now. We're all extremists now. This is what's happened. We are all fundamentalists. None of us agree with anyone. As we move into an expression-based society, you still have a chance to not get swept up where we go, hey, no. We don't trust you. We don't fuck with you. You were silent. You upheld the silencing of people with voices. It was because of you, you fucking NPC. It was because of you that so many people didn't get to have a voice. We're moving away from what's popular and the status quo being no one say anything to the ones that matter are the ones saying something. It's right here. And in the next 10 years, this shit is out the fucking window. So you start now, or you're going to look around and everyone who has a voice, guess what? They're in charge now. You don't get to bully them anymore. The bullied becomes the bullies. And that's what happened. That's what happened with you. You know who I'm talking about. You were bullied and you became the bullies. But guess what? The people you bullied, they're the bullies now. And you might not realize it. You may not realize it. I apologize that your algorithm has misled you. Truly, you have no idea the storm that's coming. So, gentlemen, you have to all of the HR managers in your fucking life, okay? It's the only way you're going to survive what's coming. And the wave is already here. Many of us are riding on it. Well, that was point one. Point two. Why I belong in this podcast world. I'm not here to cozy up next to the mom and pops, the niche podcasts. No. I was born to do this. I didn't write any of this, by the way. This is all freestyle. I turned the camera on. I have not looked at notes once. There are no notes in this room. I have not pulled my phone out for notes once. I was born to do this. I'm not here to cozy up against the niche podcasters, the mom and pops, those with the HR managers in their lives. I want a seat at the big boys table. So now I'm talking directly to them. Gentlemen, I feel the kinship. I feel the brotherhood, all right? Although it's unrequited now. You don't know me. And I appreciate all that you've done. In the manosphere, they like to call it, right? Isn't that great? Manosphere. Look, love you to death, so don't get mad. But there's no aura in this world. I will bring aura to this world. I will bring aura to this world. And if you don't know me, get to know me. All my haters can say whatever they want about me, but there's one thing they can't say. There's one thing they can't say. That boy doesn't put that shit on. This isn't for the show. I wear this to Kroger. Do you understand what I mean? And I've been doing this day in, day out for 8 years. 8 years. Every day is a runway for me. Every day is a music video for me. This is a freestyle. My time is almost up. I can go for hours. Let me bring aura to this world. We're in this information-based manosphere, they like to call it. But it's binary. It is. You know, it's too binary. It's too black and white. It's too paint by numbers. It's too linear. Let me bring aura to this world. And I can do it. Look, I was teasing about my mother earlier. She's a bull dyke lesbian. Do you understand what I mean? She's a bull dyke lesbian. Like Jay's mom, Jigga's mom, like 50's mom. Like we learned recently, Ye's late mother, Donda. A bull dyke lesbian immigrant, legal, Mexican woman who is a MAGA conservative Christian raised me. This is a line of free thinking, untainted by every psyop ever. You know, my mother was harvested into this country, and not on some H-1B shit. What's the other one? 01. She was 01. I mean, and not exactly, but I'm saying so to speak. She's no H-1B. She was an 01. And when they argue this H-1B shit, blah, 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 and I'm talking about my people on the conservative side, fuck them. 01s are the best and the brightest. Those are the ones we go for. And we don't need to go for a lot of them. All right? But so to speak, my mother was an H-1B. She was 01. She was harvested. I don't know if it was Mensa, whomever. They were testing people. And my family was in Santeria. You know, we're all Christians, we're all conservatives now. But my grandmother was forced into labor on a metal table to have my mother born on the satanic holiday of leap year. This is true. Mexico is a fucked up place. My mother, though, was a genius. And tests were done. And she had a genius level IQ. And she was harvested into this country. Harvested. She was Mensa. By the time she was 16 years old, she was already done all of the entry-level college stuff, all of the college course credits you can do in a high school. She was admitted into every Ivy League school you can imagine, but we're a Mexican family. My abuelita says, no, you can't go to Boston. You stay here. You go to the Catholic University. So she did. But my mother was meant for greatness. NASA, MIT. She's a genius. Okay? And she raised me to be a child prodigy. By the time I was 3 years old, I was reading. We're from Texas, okay? The supermarket there is called H-E-B. We were leaving H-E-B. I saw a billboard for HBO. I said, Mom, what's the difference between H-E-B and HBO? She told me. Something clicked. I started reading all the signs on the way home. By the time we got home, she handed me C-Spot Run. I read that, and then she handed me a newspaper. I read that, and I comprehended it. I was 3. She raised me to be a prodigy. By the time I entered kindergarten, they tested me. She made them. I had sophomore level math skills. I had high school senior level writing skills. And I had college freshman level reading and comprehension skills. They recommended she put me in the 8th grade. But she didn't. She was just like my abuelita. No. We'll just skip him a grade so he doesn't have to do nap time. And that's why I'm this way, guys. I've been bored my whole life. I've been forced to be around people who inherently aren't as quick as me. And I have synesthesia. Because of that, I have a nearly photographic memory. And I'm a Virgo. So that means I'm petty. So look, again, this is a hangout podcast. Hang out with me. Many of you have probably wondered, who've seen me about. I wonder what that guy's like one-on-one. Guys, I love all people. Seriously, I love all people. This can be our one-on-one. We can hang out here, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is fuck with someone with a perfect memory who's as petty as me, who's actually a human with resources. That's all I'm saying, okay? And look, we'll end it here on a soft note. Let me be your HR. Let me be your human, your resourceful human, to guide you through the terrain that we're all about to enter. I love you. This has been a Lucky Devil. Come hang out with me more. Now that the cobwebs are off, I promise you, we're going to have some fun. But don't you want to be on the same team as me? It's up to you.